she reassures herself. Jeff will have plenty of companionship at the inn. He and Simon Epstein often go fishing together, and he occasionally joins Helene and Greg on their endless antiquing excursions. In any case, the carton is sealed. Jeff will not check its contents. She turns her attention to the clothing they will need, adhering to the list she printed out in large, bright primary color-coded fonts, chosen to indicate holiday lightheartedness. She checks items off as she glides from bureau to bed, her arms laden with her undergarments and his, her nightgowns and his pajamas, his jeans and tops and her own, his worn khaki swimming trunks, her shapeless and faded blue bathing suit. She places his double-ply pale green cashmere sweater, her birthday gift to him, and her own pink fleece-lined silk jacket, his birthday gift to her, in the zippered compartment. She smiles to think of the similarities of their wardrobes, the similarities of their tastes. They have grown into each other through the years of their marriage. The thought pleases her. She reads through her list again, and, satisfied, she shreds it and buries the strips of paper at the bottom of the waste paper basket. She knows that her compulsive list-making, a habit which Jeff had found amusing and endearing during their courtship in the early years of their marriage, now irritates him. She has seen him crumple the pastel-colored post-its that litter surfaces throughout their home, each numbered notation reminding her of an errand, stops at the post office, the supermarket, the library, calls to be initiated, calls to be returned. 1, 2, 3, each number checked off. "Can't you manage to remember all this crap?" he is asked with a muted anger she does not recognize. She attributes it to fatigue, to the adjustments of new demands as the children grow older and the patterns of their lives shift. But of course, all things change, she assures herself. It is inevitable that small habits become small annoyances. She herself is unnerved by his constant humming as he pays bills or balances the checkbook, although once she had found it so charming that she would hum along with him. Such trivial irritants are inconsequential, sans importance. She retreats into French, the calming language of her profession. She smiles as she recalls the recently completed translation of a chapter in which Pierre and Jacqueline have a fierce and furious argument over Pierre's failure to replace the cap on a tube of toothpaste. Of course, irritants are inevitable, but marriages do not end over toothpaste caps, as Pierre reminds Jacqueline, or over scattered post-its, as she reminds herself. They are, she and Jeff, much as they have always been, a couple in love, in sync, happy in their work, in their home, loving partners, loving parents. A list in itself, she realizes, as the words run through her mind in a well-rehearsed mantra, repeated often, perhaps too often, in recent months. The unbidden thought unsettles her, and she slams the valise shut, opening it again because she has forgotten to pack the gifts for her sister Helene, a black smock daringly patterned in magenta geometrics, triangles and circles converging. She has bought a soft leather folio designed to hold sheet music for Greg, Helene's musician husband. The sisters struggle each August to find clever gifts to be offered on the first evening of their shared vacation, a studied ritual to compensate for the deprivations of a childhood when birthday gifts were too often packets of cotton underpants, and celebratory cupcakes, never a cake, never a party, were plucked from the day-old shelf of the supermarket. She and Helene have earned the right to spoil each other. To spoil themselves, Susan thinks, as she carefully folds the smock. The bickering of her older children drifts up from the kitchen, and she wonders for how long she can ignore their quarrel. Annette's voice, shrill and self-righteous, rises above that of her twin brother Jeremy, who is, in turn, blustering and accusatory, but Susan is reluctant to go downstairs and mediate. Instead, she wanders over to the mirror and stares critically at her reflection.